G'day fellas, and welcome to our very first game playing The Settlers. This is the brand new Settlers that has just released. We're going to be playing it. We're actually playing against a human player who goes by the name of Jake Dogboy. Alright Jake, well good luck to you mate. We're diving in because The Settlers has just been re-released. I say re-released, I mean technically it was never released in the first place. It was unfortunate what happened to it. I mean, there's a lot of controversy surrounding the game, but the best way to say it is people didn't really like it when it was initially brought out, and as a result, the developers took some time out to actually go and see whether they could fix the game up, make it a little bit better. So I think that's a question on everybody's mind. Is everybody actually looking, or is the game actually going to be fixed? Now, there have been some pretty big changes that have come through to the game, but I don't know whether it's going to be enough. A lot of the controversy I've seen around it is that they've made it a little bit too much like Age of Empires. I read one thing that said, if I wanted to play Age of Empires, I'd just go play it. So who knows exactly what we're going to be looking at here. Now, I'm going to be doing my best to try and take Jake Boy to school over on the other side of the map, but one of the big changes that has happened most recently is that there's a bit of like a no-rush kind of style of game that we've got coming out from this. So what do I mean by that? Well, before you used to be able to go and attack your enemy. You had to deal with neutral units or neutral guards, I guess is probably the best way to say it. But you don't have, or you could kind of like move around them, but now you don't have the opportunity to move around them. They're very, very solid and very, very good at defending, and they stick along all of the choke points. So at the moment, we're playing on the map The Shire. Oh, my game's got a little bit of lag. That is interesting. My command lag is coming through right now, so I'm trying to select my control groups. You can see right there. So I'm double tapping on my warehouse. Oh, wow. Oh, that's not good. That's not good at all. Okay, I don't know why the game's not doing that. So basically what's happening is I feel like I'm getting command lag here, but it's affecting my selections as well, which is like, that's a big no-no when it comes to playing games, because I want to go, I'm double tapping 5, because I've got that in my control group to go to my home depot, whatever you want to call it. And all it's doing is selecting it because it's not registering my first click because of, I guess, the command lag. There we go. Now it picks it up. Oh, already, I tell you what, this is off to a scathing start. I'm just going to put it out there. I don't like that at all. Now, I don't know whether that's the lag. You don't get that in single player. Now, I was playing a bit of single player before this. Let's get you guys expanding out this way. We want to get our fish in as soon as we possibly can because we want to make sure that we're able to boost up these bad boys right here. There we go. We're boosting them all up. But yeah, that's definitely a big no-no already. And let's get those little fish guys online. Fisherman Hut, there you are. Alright, so I think that's about as close as you can get it to the water. So we'll have to put it there. Connect it with our dirt road. Now, there's also a fair few quality of life changes that have happened here. So as an example, you don't actually have to control your little dudes. They will go and do everything for you, but they will obviously go idle as well. So it's always important to make sure that you're expanding your territory out because you want to try and collect your resources that are available to you. So you can see my guys over here, they're going in the wrong direction. We want them over here, heading towards these berries. Now, each map is different. So on this map, you've got kind of like 3 lanes, and each lane is protected by neutrals. So we can't actually do any attacking at this point in the game. Yeah, you can see how long it takes for me to select. I'm going to press 1, and it takes about a good half a second before I can actually hold down onto these villages or onto these units here. So I tell you what, this is going to make it really hard. I'm not sure what they've done with their net code that it's being produced this way, or that it's happening this way, but it is definitely not a good thing. So look, so far in this game, I'm almost tempted not to. Oh geez, how do I say this? I'm trying to think of a nice way to say this without saying it too badly, but I feel like getting a refund just because from the perspective of a competitive player, which, you know, obviously I am, for anybody who doesn't know, I enjoy playing competitively, player versus player games, and that's what the majority of my content is, or covering that type of thing. And I feel like I'm definitely not going to be able to do it. It's just not going to be possible in this layout. Now that's the wrong way around. Let me fix that bad boy up. Because I do like the concept of this game, and now that it is officially released, you know, one of the things that I guess is kind of scary, but once a game is officially released, I feel like no more support is coming for that game, or at least you could assume that there's not going to be much support coming from the game, or from the developers. So when the game is released, that's pretty much its final form. Now, obviously, there are exceptions to that. We've seen with Age of Empires that the developers have been really good in giving us updates constantly, and that has been an absolute pleasure to have. But not all games are like that. And the thing is, I don't know enough about these developers to know whether they're going to be supporting the game or not. And so, to be honest, it kind of scares me to be paying this much money for a game that, at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to play competitively, because the reality is, if I don't have the ability to select my units in a responsive way, then there's no point for me to play the game, because I'm not going to be able to achieve my full potential when it comes to APM or actions per minute. So these are big considerations that I would be making. So here, as an example, right, I want to go to my town hall. I press 5 twice. All it does is it just selects my warehouse. If I press it enough times, it will then go back to the warehouse. But ideally, it should be snapping to these immediately, and it's not doing that. And that's something that really you're going to have to learn to play around if you want to come play the Settlers. Now, it's a beautiful game. It looks absolutely beautiful, but I gotta ask the question as to why developers are willing to release it when it's in this. I guess they're probably banking on the fact that a lot of people are going to be playing against the AI, and is that probably something that I should do? Because quite genuinely, I feel like playing this game, I'm just going to quit it right now. There's no point for me to play it. So I'm just going to quit right now, because it is nowhere near responsive, or at least what I would expect it to be responsive enough. If we go play a casual game, a 1v1, as the Maru, you'll see the difference in the responsiveness. So that's something I can demonstrate, and something that I'd probably be a little bit happier to play. Now, I haven't played through the campaign. I played the skirmish a couple of times. I did actually enjoy it. I like a lot about this game, to be honest. But when it comes to the player versus player aspect, I genuinely think it is unplayable, at least for, top level players. So just immediately we'll throw down things like our quarry. We'll throw down, well, that's not what we want. We want our logging camp, so we'll throw that down over here. We'll throw down our quarry. Let's make sure we get it the right way. We'll get out a couple of roads. That's not what we want. With our obsessive compulsive disorder, we've got to make sure that it is correct. And for anybody who's going to call me out on that, I assure you it's actually real obsessive compulsive disorder. Anyway, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab these guys, put them in a control group. You can see they're up there, control 1. Now we've got control 5. I'm going to hit 1 on my keyboard twice, so the number 1, and it's going to snap to them straight away. And 5, and 1, and 5, and 1. And you can see the difference right there, right? Like, I'm very easily able to snap between these two, and that shouldn't be it shouldn't be an issue, right? Like, it shouldn't be something that you have to really it shouldn't even be a consideration, I think, because it's a client-side thing. So in-game lag, it's definitely something that should be picked up by the developers relatively early. But anyway, look, let's focus on the single player aspect of this, because that's the only way that we're going to be able to play this game. So starting off, obviously, we're getting our quarry up, we're getting up our logging camp, and we're going to boost them up. And to do that, we're going to need fish. Now, we do start off with a small amount of fish, but we're going to need to start powering those up. So that's what we're going to be working towards, at least in the opening here. I'm going to put down a sawmill as well. I want to make sure it's nice and close to my logging camp, just so that I can transfer my resources between them nice and easily. And we're slowly expanding out towards this position. We want to make sure that we've got access. So ideally, we want to put down 2. So we put 1 over here, just so that they're further away from each other. What are you guys doing? What are you guys doing? Get over here. Expand that stuff out, please. Interesting little guys. Now, we've got a couple of idols here, so we can send those. We want them over towards the berries. So there are berries that spawn somewhere out here. Let's see if we can find. Maybe if I hit B and then go forager. Yeah, so there's berries over here. I feel like they're a little bit far away. Maybe are they on the other side? Do we have any berries out here? Oh my gosh, there's no berries out here. All right, no dice. Okay, so I'm going to find my idols, hitting the F3 key, and then I'm going to start expanding out in this direction over here. We also want to make sure that we are adding in our fisherman's hut now, so we can add in 1 over here, and we'll put 1 over there as well. And we're going to start drawing a road. Hey, we could probably draw a road between them. Let's do 1 here like that, and then we'll go 1 around like that. There you go. Why not? Make it nice and easy. Ideally, you'd love to put a warehouse there just so that it's a little bit closer for the drop-off, but the reality is, this early on in the game, it's just not viable. And then, so the next thing that we want to begin working on in our downtime is a toolmaker. So the toolmaker is going to give us the ability to actually... Now, I got to make sure that I didn't send too many of these guys out here. I got 4 out here. It feels like a lot, I'll be honest with you. I think we start with 12 engineers, so I need to make sure these guys aren't doing their expanding. We'll get them in. Maybe these guys can look to build the toolmaker. You can stop expanding as well. We don't need these guys expanding our territory anymore. So we've started off pretty well. We can boost up everything just so that we going troppo with the production, because we're going to start needing to add in houses now. We're going to just continue working in this direction. We want to get out to these berries. The sooner we get out to these berries, we can actually put a new warehouse out here, and then that warehouse will be a great point for us to deposit all of our resources into that are out there, because we've also got access to some unique, or not unique, but some rare earth materials, which is going to be really important. But we're now expanding out on that road. Let's get them all out there. Get the fish in. How much fish are we down to? We're onto 0 fish, so shows you the importance of getting these fisherman huts up as soon as possible. Now, each map is different. This is one thing to remember with this game. So the map that I'm playing on now is called the Shire, and this map, I've chosen it specifically because it's more open. And the way I like to think about it, if you've ever played Dota, League of Legends, any of those kind of games, is that there's lanes. So you've got a lane through the middle where the enemy lies. You've got a lane over towards the right side of the map where, once again, the enemy lies, and then a lane over towards the right, or the left side, the west side, where the enemy also lies. So to get to my enemy, my actual enemy, they're all the way on the opposite side of the map, and I've got neutrals that I've got to try and go through first. Let's keep you guys on the right path. I've got neutrals that I need to go through first. But to challenge the neutrals, I'm actually going to need a pretty decent mass of units. What I'll do is I'll take these guys out here, my army, and bring them out so you can just see what we're actually dealing with. We're going to add in a couple of houses here as well. So we'll get a couple of residences nice and close all together. There we go. I think that's pretty decent. Just 3 for now. Oh, you know what? We might add in a 4th one or 5th one over here. Ooh, there we go. There we go. All right, so we get a few extra. You can see that we've got 0 idols at the moment, which is never a good sign. You always want idols in this game, at least a couple of idols. But let's keep expanding. So we're working out towards, where is it? Over here. Now, how are our tools going? Because we do need tools. And you can see that for us to get tools, or for at least to boost it, because we want to try and boost it, we need those berries. And that's all. That's what we're looking at doing here. So we're gonna begin moving a road out towards this position. I think something like that might be decent. We've got a whole bunch of building to go on before that. And once we've got our tools up, that's going to enable us to build additional warehouses. So it's going to take 3 tools. So we've got plenty of resources. We've got plenty of wood, plenty of stone, but just not many tools. We're only on 1 at the moment, and it's going to take time for it to slowly but steadily come through. So we'll look to build our warehouse over here. I think right here's a really good spot, because actually maybe somewhere around here might be better. That way it's a bit closer towards the base. But then we can look to survey this area, and we'll also be getting the berries in as well. So that should be nice. All right, how are we going with the fish? Fish looks pretty decent. Houses are coming up, which will give us a little bit more population space. You can see we're starting to move up towards a higher number of laborers. So there's a couple of things that you should know about this game. So you've got these idle carriers, not laborers, carriers. So they just carry resources everywhere. So they're kind of like your Uber Eats drivers of the feudal age. And then you've got your engineers. And so your engineers are your more experienced guys who are building things, surveying, all that kind of stuff. Now you can turn them. You can take a laborer or a whatchamacallit. You could take a carrier and turn him into an engineer, but you're going to have to get a special building to do that. So where is it? It's somewhere around here. So the guild hall, that's the one that will do it. So quite expensive, but I don't think that we really need it at this point in the game. We might need it a little bit sooner or a little bit later. Hey, where are you guys going? Out over this way. You can see if you leave these guys alone, just how quickly they start working. We might actually start surveying here, because we're probably close enough now that we could justify dropping down that berry patch. So I'll get 2 people surveying. You go here, you go here, you go here, and you can go on that.
Where can I help?
So we've got 3 out there expanding towards the berries, and then 2 going to be doing some surveying. The road has been completely built. We've got plenty of housing space, so everything's looking good. And we've got 37 idols, which is fine. We're not too worried about that, but we do have room to move, and we've got a couple of idols here as well. So we can look to bring these guys out. These guys can all look to help. And we can get this dirt road all the way out here. So we are now in a position to begin our expansion. So the warehouse, actually, yeah, we can probably go about here. I think might be decent. So that seems like a decent spot. And we'll bring that dirt road in a little bit closer. Like that. And I'm almost tempted to just demolish like that. You know you got to get rid of these old roads. How do I, excuse me, how do I get rid of the old roads? There we go. Cool. All right, that looks a little bit better. Feels a little bit better that way. And yeah, so now we're slowly expanding. So I think this is probably close enough for us to get our berries down. So I'll look to do that, forage a hut. I tell you what, playing offline or playing, you know, against an AI is just so much easier than playing online against a human, just because I can actually, the game just feels so much more responsive. So let me show you the enemy units. I say enemy units. These are neutral units, so they just camp out in the middle. And you can see there's a lot of them, right? Like, look at that. I've got 3 little dudes, so I'm just chilling out. Like, this game is really just kind of like a no-rush game, at least for the middle, for the central portion of the game. So we did find, looks like some gold over here. So ideally what we want to be looking for is some coal, and I think there's also iron that we can be looking for. But in the meantime, so we've got a gold mine right here. Now, we can't build that gold mine until we've actually dug out over here. So once we finish this little area here, I think I might bring some engineers in just to expand this out, throw down that gold mine, and then we can begin working on that. Let's pull these guys back in over here. We don't need you guys expanding our territory anymore. You can expand our territory right here. That seems like a noble pursuit. Actually, I think when this warehouse finishes, it will capture territory around here. So maybe you don't have to expand that much. But who knows? Maybe it's like Civ. When you settle a new civilization or a new city, it'll just be like, it'll give the extra tiles over anyway. Let's have a look, because we're approaching maximum capacity here. Is that 5? That should be 6. Oh, they kind of fall off towards the end because you don't need them. All right, let's have a look. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and boom. There we go. Cool. So we just captured all of this. So now we should be able to throw down a gold mine. I guess not yet. I guess not yet. We haven't done enough. So I'm gonna keep. Do I survey here? No, I might expand out actually. Let's grab these guys. We can survey with these guys. There we go. I just realized you have to survey like the individual mining positions. So there's over there, like there's 2 tiles here. There's some tiles over there. So you have to tell them very specifically. So at the moment, there's no way for us to really be attacked by our enemy. We just kind of, we just chill out because we're completely blocked off by the neutrals in the middle. And it feels a little bit weird in a way because there's absolutely no aggression, at least early on. Okay, so now we're going to start gathering berries. And so what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that our berries are coming back here. So I'm going to click on these berries and I'm going to set, I want a minimum stock of 10 berries here. And what that means is anytime that there are berries that get brought into this position here, then someone's going to come out and they're going to collect those berries and bring them back over towards this this trade center, I guess you could call it. Resources found. All right, it looks like we're finding some good stuff. So let's get into it. We can start with a gold mine. We know that we've got one of those. So let's throw one of those down. We've also, do we have coal? No, we don't have coal. We've got stone. And we also have stone again. So I guess we can throw down a stone. Now, this is infinite stone. That's a key factor. So this is one of the reasons why it is important to get out on here as quick as you can. Let's finish all those roads. There we go. All right, an expansion is just going to continue down this angle or down this area. Now, have we got any more surveying to do? We've got this. It says, please select a mining area. I don't think we need to... Yeah, okay. I don't think we need to... I think we're fully surveyed here now. So that's all we've got. So we didn't get anything special. We only got the gold. And so now we've got to kind of look at what we can do with that gold, because there's only very specific things that you can do. So here we can use a mint to take that gold and turn it into coins. And then from there, with those coins, we can then take them and spend them. I think it's at the Shady Tavern, or it might be at the... Yeah, I don't think it's at the Shrine. I think it's at the Shady Tavern. And from there, we can hire or recruit things. So ideally, we would have loved something to get some additional units that we can actually build. But I guess that will work. So let's focus on that. We'll go for the Shady Tavern. We'll put it back towards our base because I don't think it really matters. Oh, that is definitely not where I wanted it. I thought that was one tile away. Shady Tavern. There we go. All right, let's just put it there. I was trying to get it right up there and into the corner, but obviously things didn't go to plan, did they? All right, so gold mine's up. So we actually need meat for this to start boosting. And obviously we want to try and boost it, right? Like boosting is super important. Oh, we got some more berries down here. Hello. Hello. Don't mind if I do. The more the merrier. That's what I always say. So let's get that bad boy all hooked up to the network. It's a little bit further away, but it's not a huge deal. As long as... my main concern, actually, is... I think there are neutrals that stand, like, right here. So hopefully... Yeah, we don't want you to go any further, because if you go further, you're going to attract those bad boys. So... we want to be looking for... we need to get some food. Okay? Or some meat. So how do we do that? So we get that from the ranch. And the ranch uses wheat. And for us to get wheat, we need to have a windmill. Actually, no, we don't. We just need to farm. Okay, cool. There we go. All right, so let's farm it up. Let's begin the beginnings of a farm. We might just put it there. That seems like that's a decent spot. And then on the other side, we can just throw down a ranch. I don't want to put it too far away. I think that's pretty decent. Now, I just noticed that my logging camp has gotten pretty far away, so I'm going to have to move this bad boy over. Like that. This was our initial logging camp, so I'm going to actually turn off the boost on this, just because I feel like it's not as efficient as it should be, or as it could be. So we'll move it out over onto this position instead. But everyone's beginning work, and this is the point where I'm starting to feel like maybe I don't have enough engineers. Where are my engineers? I need to make sure that everybody's, you know, doing the right thing. So we don't have any idols at the moment. We have one that's expanding territory. So where is he? This guy right here. You're not expanding territory anymore, sir. You're now building roads. Congratulations. You've received a promotion. You're now a road builder, a nation builder. So that'll connect that to the network. Now, all of the jobs that are in here are going to be done by your carriers. Your carriers will be doing the foraging. They'll be doing all of that stuff. So you don't need to worry about it from that perspective of needing the extra engineers. But you know what else we might need? Let's get our stone. But to me, the way that the way I think about it is that there's no real limit on the amount of production that you can have. Like you're limited by the amount of carriers you've got, and as long as you've always got a few spare carriers just chilling out, then there's nothing to stop you from just going ham, going absolutely crazy. So here you can see we've got access to the shaman at the Shady Tavern. So that's what we're going to be working on. Now, we've also got... Actually, did we not get the gold? We got the gold mine. Hold on a minute. So the gold mine produces the gold. We need the mint. Oh, we forgot the mint. Why didn't you guys tell me? Why didn't you guys tell me we need the mint? Oh my god, it's an absolute amateur mistake. I can't believe you made that mistake, Drongo. Okay, so we'll just put it here. And what's the issue? We've got no meat. Well, of course we've got... Oh, no, it's saying... what do you want? I want meat, but it's interrupted because we've got no wheat. So it wasn't meat, it was wheat that we were after. So I'm going to take the wheat. So I'm just working through my production chain here. And obviously with that wheat, I can also decide to send some of it over to a windmill and begin making bread. And you can begin using bread on something that is a little bit unique. We haven't touched on it quite yet, but hey, you know, there's never been a better time than right now. Let's talk about the Academy. Probably my favorite building in this game so far that I've discovered. Academy, I feel like you can probably go at the back. Like, you're not super important when it comes to your positioning, as long as you're out of the way, because you're quite big. So let's get the Academy down, and we'll begin to talk about that. So I'm almost tempted to think about adding in another farm here. Can I go like that? How did I get that one in? Oh, I see. I think, do we just... Yeah, let's just keep adding in like that. There we go. Boom. Throw that bad boy down. I mean, it's not the prettiest of base. We can say that much. But, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right, so do we need to boost this up? Not really. We're sitting on 58. So I don't think we need to boost this up right now. In fact, we've got the second one running, right? Like, this is just a more efficient form of this previous guy. I could delete this, but there's no point, right? Like, I'm sitting on... Well, actually, I don't have that many idols. Hold on a minute. Let's get a few more residences down. So this is where you can see, right? Like, you need the extra residences to come in clutch, and you want to try and put these in the positions that you're not using any space. So you can see right here, like, I've got a little bit of space free, but then I'm not going to get the adjacency bonus, because you always want to try and work towards having that adjacency bonus. So what was that? Did you see that? Look at that. That's pretty cool. You know what? I'm tempted, even though it's not going to be on a road right there, I'm tempted just to put it down, just because it looks cool. Let's do that. And that. And now we just put a road around here. Obviously not the best idea from an efficiency standpoint, but it looks cool. That's what's important. You got to make a base that looks cool. That's why I made this masterpiece of a base. All right, how are we looking now at the moment? Our farm is coming up. So we've got 2 farms now beginning work. Now you can't boost up your farms. That's one thing to note. So the only way you're going to be increasing production of wheat is just simply going to be through having more farms. And with that, you can see we've now finally got the beginnings of our production. It's going to be meat production. The meat, where's the meat heading? The meat needs to go. Where does the meat need to go? Is the meat just going to the town hall? I think that's the meat's just going to the town hall. And you can see we brought back the berries. So we can start buffing things up. I remember we were going to buff up the tool maker. I don't think we really need to buff it up. We're sitting on 16 tools at the moment. So I think that's fine. But now we can start to build a shaman. So it's a short-range Mario unit, adept at destroying buildings. Yeah, you see something about having a unit that's adept at destroying buildings just doesn't really excite me that much, considering when it comes to the enemy units, they were like there were so many of them. So where do I go from here? Because it's a little bit RNG in the sense that, you know, what if my enemy on his side of the map got access to things like the iron, he got access to iron and coal, and I'm just sitting over here on like double stone gold. Like, yeah, this is fun. Where do I go from here though? Like, dude, I don't know if you guys get what I'm saying, but like to make units in this game, you're going to need iron, you're going to need coal, because that's how you, at least that's my understanding. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Hold on. Let's get the training ground out here, okay? Hold on. Training ground, you get out here. Let's get what else do we need? We can get a shrine out here. Why not? Let's get a shrine out here. Let's get it all out. Get it all out in the open. Let's connect these bad boys up to the road. And while we wait for them to build, is there anything else that we're missing? We've got the academy, shrine, shady tavern, the training ground. I don't think we're missing anything else. We don't need the guild hall because we don't really need. I mean, we could make those little green haired, but I don't think we need them. So anyway, this is the academy. This is probably the coolest part, I think, of the Settlers. And the way that it works is essentially you pay resources to get upgrades. So I've got a crafting tree, a protection tree, and an administration tree. So if I want protection, you can see right here, I can pay 5 berries and I can get 3 vision range. So if we pull out our little archers, are these archers? What are these? I don't even know. Rangers. Okay. All right. So you guys just chill there. So we can see, we can't see past this point. And then if we get this upgrade, it should give us a little bit of extra range. Right? Military units. Let's go again. Oh, I know what happens. Oh, they have to deliver. So they have to deliver the berries. So you can see they're delivering the 5 berries in, and once the 5 berries get delivered, then the upgrade will be complete. It's pretty cool. I like that. I do like the way the agent system works in this game.
Research completed.
Okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Cool. So I got an extra 3 range. And now I can get an extra 6 line of sight by doing 6 berries and 100 gold. So you better believe your lucky stars I am. We got 300 gold at the moment. So let's actually get one of these shamans. And I don't like how I can't put the rally point with my right click. I have to click the rally point and then left click it down over here. All right, so let's say I wanted to train some units. Well, congratulations. You need a shield. You need a bow. You need an axe. Or you need... Actually, we can make a javelin. Actually, we can make a javelin. Okay, that's not terrible. But we need 300 gold coins for the javelin. So, to make these 3 things, we're going to need a blacksmith. At least, I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to need. Let me see if we can find it. Yeah, blacksmith. Here we go. So, it produces 1, 2, or 3. And look what it uses. It uses coal and iron. The 2 resources that we don't actually have. Hold on a minute. There we go. That'll fix that right up. I like this little archway. I wonder what purpose this serves. Maybe to like share heat? That wouldn't really make sense. All the heat would get trapped at the top. I got no idea. All right, so we've got... Oh my lord, look at the line of sight we've got now.
Ready for duty.
So we got plenty of line of sight, which doesn't really give us much. Lots of other upgrades that you obviously have access to. To get access to the second tier of upgrades, you need to unlock one in the first tier. So I'd be able to get these, but you can see I don't have access to the gems yet, and I don't have access to iron or through to this weapon. So let's have a look. So you can claim territory 1 second faster. That seems like a noble pursuit. And additional speed and health for your engineers. This is a really cool upgrade, and definitely worth it for the amount of tools that you're paying. You're paying for three tools. That's it. That is an absolute great deal, considering we're sitting on 20 at the moment, and you're not going to need a lot. I don't think through this game you're going to need a whole amount. Now, we also have access to the shrine. The shrine, 30 gems. Well, we don't have any gems. Let's get our javelin. Let's bring him to the front. I think it's a him. Apologies if it's not how you identify it.
Research completed.
All right, so there's our research completed. So now we can move on to the second tier. So we can get additional health on our buildings, or our taunt can have an additional target, which we haven't really talked about yet, the taunts. So you can make decoys, and it taunts nearby soldiers. Now, I don't actually know how it works in practice. I have not seen, but yeah, I suspect they just attack these units. And if you're playing against an AI, they probably just sit there all day attacking against those units, because that's how AIs work, isn't it? So yeah, that's that. So let's get some extra health on our buildings. What are we paying for that? We're just paying a little bit of stone for that. I mean, it seems pretty easy, right? Like the kind of stuff, but obviously you want to work towards different things. And like down here, an extra living space per residence, but it's going to cost you 12 bread. And I don't think we ever made a bakery. Yeah, we didn't. We never made a bakery. So we can drop a windmill down right now, and we can get a bakery in. Yeah, there we go. I like the way the roads... Wait, did that bakery not... Do I not have the resources for a bakery?
Research complete.
Ah! God, no! Oh, that is painful. Oh, don't you just hate... Don't you just love that? Now look at my road. Look what you've done to me, bakery. Okay, there we go. All right. We've still got plenty of idols, so we don't need any more houses. We're all good. Connected those ones to the network. Jeez, look at the line of sight on those bad boys. That is crazy. Oh, there's our little guy. Our javelin. Place a trap on the ground that will stop the movement of the first enemy to step on it. Oh, it places it right there. Okay. So you have abilities that you can use. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Warcraft in that regard. And you can unlock new abilities as well. But we're still working towards... getting our second javelin in. And you can, I mean, at this point in the game, like, had we got iron, had we got coal, you'd probably be sitting on like close to 15 to 20 units by now. So there is a stark difference between finding gold and finding iron. And you definitely want to be in the later camp. Well, anyways, I hope this has been an eye-opening video for you guys. If I had to give a recommendation, it would probably be to avoid this game unless you're going to be playing single player. If you want to play PvP, it seems really, it seems like it needs a lot of work. And I'll probably be asking for a refund of this game if it's possible. But let's have a look and see how our little guys do. There you go, fellas. So she got eliminated. I can't see. Oh, those guys are dead. All right. Well, it's a slow and steady march. I've got a suspicion that after this video ends, it'll take me about another 3 hours, but I reckon we'll crack through here and then onto the enemy base.